I mean, that I will know if the problem only when I get the bullet. I'm hoping not. Dawood Ibrahim as a subject matter interested me probably ever since the 93 serial Blast.
Yes.
Which is technically more than 20 years. I've never done a genre film with big actors in my entire career. Satya was all new people. Okay, point one. D Company also, Ajay was not as big a star at that time as he is now. Vivek Oberoi is a new guy.
Koimoi.com.
Hello and welcome to Koimoi. This is Shubham Kulkarni, and today in conversation with us is the man who has successfully defined parallel and experimental cinema to a generation. He is here today to talk about his dream project, which is D Company, and let's not just waste more time and welcome him here. Welcome, sir.
Hi.
So, first of all, pandemic ne sabko rok liya, but it couldn't stop you. You have been releasing posters, trailers, there are feature films coming out. Tell me, how are you doing that? How are you making that possible?
I mean, I think eventually human beings adapt to no matter what the situation is. And I, by nature, am a very impatient person. I need to keep doing something or other, whatever interests me. So I figured out a way, either go to a place to shoot where the pandemic is not so this thing, or it can be that select subject matters and locations which are more in control in the restrictions what we have, and see various other factors. So I think we managed, I mean, not me alone, but under my production house, we managed to finish 4 or 5 films in the last 1 year. And now, because the theater situation even now is not very, I mean, it's very uncertain to say the least. So I thought we just will go ahead and start a OTT and release it there.
But then I was reading about the company, and somewhere I read you were talking about it that it took you 20 years to shape the project. Tell me what kept you at it for 2 decades.
See, I would like to think, I mean, when I say that, you see, the Dawood Ibrahim as a subject matter interested me probably ever since the 93 serial Blast.
Yes.
Which is technically more than 20 years before. Okay.
Yeah.
So and then I kept meeting people who kind of know him, who interacted with him. And recently, around a couple of years back, I met someone who were a part of the original D gang in Dongri in 1980. Yeah. So I think what I managed to collate from these various people who interacted with him at various times of his life, I began seeing the man. And so the most important thing is for one to realize that how a guy who was a part of a street gang turned it into an international crime syndicate. That is what which fascinated me. You know, so that also inherently it kind of exposes the lapses in the system to the lapses in the establishment, and no man is caused by himself. There will be a lot of mitigating factors, both on the right and the wrong side of the law, which will actually help it to an extent. So I thought that's very interesting, and it's almost like the Mahabharata of the crime industry, if we can use that word. Yeah. So I think a variety of these factors. So what I thought, if I take the time span between 1980, which is more or less the start of the Sabir Dawood gang, named after his brother, and then till Chota Rajan's arrest in Bali in 2015. So that covers nearly a 35-year span of the underworld of Mumbai. So I wanted to make a season, multiple seasons to cover this entire aspect. And this film D Company is just the origin of it. The first part between 1980 and 82, when Dawood Ibrahim was just making his bones. And for the first time, Bombay people came to know that there's a guy called Dawood Ibrahim in Bombay. So that is the part I made into a film. And this film is intended as a trailer for the entire season. Yeah.
Unlike other stories that are based on the real life and events, say the crime world especially, people are afraid of taking names. Here, you're openly calling it a story based on Dawood Ibrahim. Do you fear any type of consequences?
No, because see, I think, I mean, not that I know them on a personal level or whatever, but I would like to believe they think that I'm a guy who makes them look like people, like not good or bad. It is just them, how they're people. See, crime is a legal word. And many times it is the cause of it can have a moral aspect to it, can have a circumstantial aspect, can have a compulsion, can strangely have even an innocent aspect of it, which I've seen in my research of that. So, and they're not an ideological organization. It's primarily a business organization, and they use violence once in a while to straighten things out, for want of a better word. So I don't think that they would really have a problem in, I mean, that they will know if they have a problem only when I get the bullet. I'm hoping not.
But what about the people? People who have opinions about it.
Yeah. Like
What
what?
about them? Say they call you out for it, for glorifying them, for
Yeah.
making films and glorifying them.
See, this is something they've been doing that to me, right, since Satya. But that's the
Yes.
whole point when, see, in Satya, everybody who took up the gun died a miserable death, you know,
Yes.
without exception, including the protagonist. Okay. Now, to show them as black and white, I think is being very irresponsible, and you're trying to take away the spotlight from the truth. Okay. A man
Yes.
does something on two reasons. Either he's compelled to do it as very ambitious, he's greedy, or he's insane. Insanity obviously is not the point of organized crime. A lone criminal can be insane. An organized criminal syndicate cannot be insane. You know. So I think only when you see them as human beings, you'll actually be able to understand the flaws in them, or the flaws in what they've done, or in flaws in the system, why it was not able to stop it. That's how I see it. So I don't glorify at all.
It's a dream project. You call it a massive project for you. Why
Yes.
not approach big stars and make it even bigger like we have done in the past? Why not that
So
idea?
I've never done a genre film with big actors in my entire career.
Yes.
Satya was all new people. Okay,
Yes.
point one. D Company also, Ajay was not as big a star at that time as he is now. Vivek Oberoi is a new guy. Okay. And most of the other casts in D Company, except for Ajay and Manisha, were new people.
Yes.
And new people I take because I believe audience will look at them as characters, real people. If I take known people, they'll always look like actors. They'll always, because you've seen their previous films, and that baggage will keep coming after you. So I always believed in my entire career, right from my first film, Shiva, that new people in a genre film will work far better than established people.
Koimoi.com